After a sizzling June, the Braves have charged back into the Eastern Division race. And now the calendar turns to July, and it's fireworks time for the booming Braves offense. Matt Olson, Travis d'Arnaud, Dansby Swanson, and yes, Ronald Acuna Jr. are ready to launch rockets all weekend long. Braves ace Max Fried gets the party started for Game 1 of the holiday weekend in Cincinnati. Next on Bally Sports. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. The world champs are on the banks of the Ohio River. Our first and only trip to Cincinnati gets underway as we kick off the 4th of July holiday weekend at the Great American Ballpark. Hi again, everybody. Chip Caray, Jeff Francoeur. Wow, what a month of June for the Braves, coming to town to Cincinnati after a series win against the Philadelphia Phillies. Partner, if July is anything like June, we're going to have a whole lot of fun during this fourth month of the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, April and May were not exactly what we've come accustomed to, but boy, did this Braves team turn it on June. And this is what we're accustomed to seeing this team do. These type numbers, 778 winning percentage, but more for me, Chip, the plus 55 run differential. They've dominated teams, and they, as you see there, they made up 7 games in the standings, which is going to be huge as they chase down the Mets. And one of the big reasons why, the guy at the front of the rotation is Max Fried. Max is the ace of this staff. You see the last 7 starts, but more important, look what he's done on the road. Gone into other people's ballparks, 8-0 with a 1.43. And I know, talking to Max, he was not happy the way opening day went against this Reds team. Look to him to have a big night tonight.
Well, it's always fun to watch Max Fried pitch. It's always fun to see Ronald Acuna Jr. in the lineup. He is back for the Braves and gets the start as the DH in the ballpark where he made his Major League debut. Adam Duvall is also making a homecoming. The former Red now batting for the Braves. He and Atlanta get things started. Kelly Crawl will talk with dynamic Adam Duvall as he returns to the Great American Ballpark for Game 1 of our big series next.
Brought to you by the GMC Sierra Heavy Duty Truck. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Kaiser Permanente.
We welcome you back to the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, where the Braves and Reds will begin a 3-game holiday weekend set. And for Adam Duvall, this is a bit of a reunion, nearly 4 years in the making. That's right, if you can believe it, this is the first time he will be back here in the yard in Cincy since he played for the Reds in 2018. Kind of hard to believe, but the fans won't have a hard time believing that he led the Braves and was tied for 3rd in the National League with 8 home runs in June. He has also been hitting nearly 300 on his last 11 road games. Take a look, and let's not forget about those back-to-back 30 home run seasons in 16 and 17. And he took a little time earlier this afternoon to sit down and reflect on his time here and all the success he had.
The biggest thing that I attribute to coming here was an opportunity to play, and play every day. So, just having that opportunity, I was super blessed and super grateful for. And, I feel like that kind of was where my career really took off and started. So, I'm grateful for that.
8 home runs in the month of June. You kind of talked to me the other night about the contact point, but you've also mentioned just some of the big adjustments that you've made as well. Do you ever stop tweaking?
When I get locked in, I will. But until then, I probably over tweak a little bit and think about it a little too much. But, I feel like there's always progress to be made. I feel like that's kind of how I've gotten to where I've gotten and had success. So, I'm always looking to get better.
Well, Duvall will certainly look to keep the big hits coming, and Max Fried will look for his 8th straight W as he squares off against a familiar southpaw to Braves fans. That's right, Mike Minor on the hill for the Reds. We've got lineups and first pitch on the way here on the Friday Night Showdown presented by Kaiser Permanente. We'll be right back.
Ballpark getting ready for this big holiday weekend in Cincinnati. And this is the place where it all began for Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald, 7 homers, 18 RBIs this year, 13 stolen bases, leading vote getter in the National League. He's going to start for the National League All-Stars in Los Angeles. And let's harken back to 2018. His first game, April 25th. His first homer against the aptly named Homer Bailey. And as you see, Ronald, Braves missed him. Good to have him back.
It's awesome. It's nice to have him top vote getter in the NL. Even though it's just DH and he's not in the outfield, just to have him in there, bringing the energy, it's huge.
Ronald coming back after a sore foot suffered on the homestand back at Truist Park in Atlanta, so he'll be the DH and get things started atop Brian Snitker's Toyota starting lineup. The Braves begin play 3.5 games behind the Mets, 11 games over 500 at 44 and 33 on the year. Dansby Swanson slots in the second spot. Matt Olson third, Austin Riley fourth. Michael Harris will get his first look at the Reds in this very hitter-friendly place, and we'll also take a peek, Jeff, at an old familiar friend. Mike Minor, the former Brave, is on the mound for the Reds, and let's say things for Mike haven't gone as well as he would have hoped this year.
No, he has been struggling a little bit. You see 3 home starts here, 6 home runs allowed, that ERA. He has had trouble, Chip, of getting that cutter in on right-handed hitters, and the changeup's not been as effective. That being said, he is a veteran pitcher, and sometimes you see guys like this, you wonder if they're due for a good start. So Braves still have to go up there with the right approach, which to me is right center, and if he makes a mistake, turn on it.
You saw the 6 homers allowed on his home mound. He's given up 10 homers in 25 2/3 innings this year, Jeff. That's way too many for a pitcher of Mike's caliber. And he was beaten by the Giants last time out. 3 more home runs in 5 innings. He gave up 6 runs against San Francisco. Loved your segment on Braves Live talking about this ballpark, what makes it such a fun place to hit. I would assume that has something to do with your Ford Keys here for game 1.
Yeah, long ball. Hit some home runs tonight. The Braves are second in all of baseball with 116 homers. The Yankees first with 127. And then for Max Fried, look, a little payback. He's almost had a perfect year. Opening day, 5 2/3, 8 hits, 5 earned runs to these guys. So hopefully a bounce back game for him.
You will hear a lot of cheers for the Braves this entire weekend. Braves country has traveled to Southern Ohio for their lone visit to the Great American Ballpark. The world champs are here, and Braves country is out in force here tonight. Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off against Mike Minor, who toes the third base side of the slab. And we are underway, and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. .91 degrees in Cincinnati on the 1st of July 2022. Gentle breeze blowing out toward left center as Minor twirls, and this is high and tight. And the count to Ronald even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eric Batchus is the home plate umpire. Trip Gibson, Las Diaz, and Chad Fairchild the other umps. As that one's way upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Joey Votto, the lone Reds defender, on the right side of the infield. They play Ronald as an opposite field hitter in the outfield. And there's that cutter that Minor missed again with. It's quickly 3 balls and a strike. Mike Minor, 7th pick by the Braves in 2009, I beg your pardon, out of Vanderbilt. A little more gray in that goatee than we're used to seeing from Mike Minor, who has never pitched against the team that drafted him in the big leagues before, the Atlanta Braves. Tonight, the 3-1. And Acuna, did that graze him across the shoe tops? He's going to hobble down to first base. Hopefully that's not the sore foot for Ronald. If it was, that's an inauspicious start to game 1 of the weekend series. Whether it's ball 4 or hit batsman, we might have to take another look. It was right across the shoe top. Yeah, it hit him on the right foot. So that's how the game starts. Acuna aboard on a gift from Mike Minor. Here's Dansby Swanson. The Dansby Swanson the Reds pitched to in the first series back in April is a very different Dansby Swanson than we're seeing now. Dansby was 2 for 12 against the Reds and struck out 8 times in that series. Well, he's done a great job of cutting down on the strikeouts and sticking with the approach, Jeff, that might earn him Player of the Month honors for the month of June in the National League. Bouncing ball hit towards short. Step on the pillow and the throw to first. Dug out by Votto. Good play. Kyle Farmer starts a 6-3 double play. And quickly 2 out here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better ball for him to get this double play on. He was able to go right to the bag and had to be quick to get Dansby, fast runner, to first.
So here's Matt Olson, 31 doubles for the Braves before the All-Star game. He had a good series against the Reds back in Atlanta. And this is the first time he's ever hit at the Great American Ballpark. And again, as we said at the start of this road trip, you like to hit, this is the road trip for you. Philadelphia and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes.
Talk about how humid it is here too. We were watching BP today. The right-handed hitter hitting balls 10-15 rows up to right center field.
Jonathan India backs up into the short grass in right field for the Reds as Minor goes 3-0 to Matt Olson. 12 homers for Matt, 42 knocked in. Let's see if he has a green light. We'll never know. It's strike 1. Scorched and foul past first. Hey, nice play down the line. And Mike Minor back into the count. It's now 3-2. The Braves coming off a well-played series against the Phillies, yesterday's game notwithstanding. Beat the Phillies 5-3, 4-1. After winning 2 out of 3 at the Bank Vault, they try for more fun here in Cincy. And Matt Olson strokes a single into right field. And that's the first hit of the ball game for the Braves. A 2-out single from Matt Olson.
Not too many times you're going to see a ball sneak through with the shift the way they play it. And on this one, you saw Matt kind of had to reach out and go get it. Just snuck it into right field.
So Austin Riley with a chance for some 2-out damage. That has been a big stat in the Braves' 21-win June. A lot of 2-out thunder. And Riley is swinging bunt off the end of his bat. That's going to stay foul. And he's down 0-1. 18 homers for Riley, 43 driven in. And 5 of those homers have come against southpaw pitchers. So again, on paper, Jeff, this looks like a very favorable matchup for the Braves. But as the old saying goes,
that's why you play the game.
Right. And not on paper. Votto holds Olson. Very short lead for Matt as Minor stares straight at him. The pitch. Fly ball towards center. Pretty well hit. To the warning track. To the wall. That carries over the boards. Austin Riley with a 2-out, 2-run homer, and the Braves strike first.
Now the old saying, Chip, you don't have to kill the ball here, and Austin, credit him, did a great job. Where'd he shoot this ball? Look at this pitch. Outer half, went dead center. If he tries to pull this ball, it's a ground ball. Instead, he goes and look, Austin's so strong at a park like this, he doesn't have to clip it. And he gets the Braves on the board early, 2-0 lead.
And Braves country loud and proud in Cincinnati, chopping and chanting. 2-0 for Travis d'Arnaud. So just the start you hope for Atlanta. They follow the June script. Home runs, they come with 2 outs. They come against a left-handed starting pitcher. d'Arnaud had a great June. This one is poked softly towards second, and Jonathan India will corral that. Austin Riley, 19 home runs, 78 home runs in his big league career now. And with 2 out in the first inning, the Braves third baseman's thunderbolt to center gives Atlanta a 2-0 lead after a half inning. In the first inning, a 2-run, 2-out home run off Mike Minor in the first inning. Now the Cincinnati Reds come a-calling. The Reds have been outscored by 88 runs this season. They start play at 26-49 on the year. Jonathan India is a star in the making. Rookie of the Year. Leads off their Toyota starting 9. You know all about Tommy Pham, Joey Votto, Kyle Farmer, the Georgia Bulldog. Keep an eye on him. And Michael Papierski is a new catcher. We'll explain why he's in harness as the Reds take aim at Max Fried, Jeff, who's on an amazing roll for the Braves.
He's been so good. And, you know, talk about lost his first 2 games of the year, since has not lost. He's been on a roll last 13 starts. And tell you what, he's making a real consideration to get a start for the All-Star game.
So Max Fried, there's your early lead. As Jonathan India digs in, the Reds really miss this kid. Didn't play 48 games because of a right hamstring problem. That's why you'll see his numbers pop up, and they're low for this time of the year. Only playing in his 25th game here tonight. And when we talk about Jonathan India to Brian Snitker, he uses a managerial compliment in the highest regard. He says this kid's a ball player.
Yeah.
Max Fried gets ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. No decision for Max against the Dodgers last time out. 2 runs in 6 2/3 innings through 106 pitches. Max has gone over 100 pitches in 4 of his last 5 games. Interesting look at how the shadows are working with this early start in Cincinnati tonight. Arcia, Swanson, and Riley in bright sunshine. Everybody else on the infield in shadow. A little dribbler hit to short. Dansby's got it. His flip to first is in time, and India's retired 1 out. That's going to be a great stat to follow in this game, Jeff. When Max Fried is on his game, he gets a lot of ground ball outs. In this ballpark, that's key.
Yeah. Yeah. For him, it's going to be key, being able to keep that ball in the down and not get in the air.
Here's Brandon Drury. Drury, the designated hitter for the Reds. He's had a fine season, 16 homers. Having a few audio issues in the booth, so we apologize for that. We're working through that for you as we get started this weekend in Cincinnati. Are you there? No balls, 2 strikes. On the ground to Riley. He can't handle that hot shot. That'll be an E5. So it would have been 2 ground ball outs in a row for Max Fried. That one hit Riley right in the heel of the glove, and Drury reaches on an Austin Riley error. So Riley just missed that, and Tommy Pham is coming up. Pham had some back problems last week. Good to go tonight. He's got 11 homers. Wouldn't expect the Reds to take many liberties with the excellent pickoff move of Max Fried, and there it was, and it almost handcuffed Matt Olson.
I was going to say he looked like he picked off Matt.
If memory serves, sometimes the sunshine will peek through the second deck here in Cincinnati, right at the first baseman. So you got to keep that in mind if you try to make a pickoff move. Max sets and delivers. And in for a strike. Hey, you're back. All right.
I think so, at least for a minute.
One on, one out for the Reds in the first inning. The Braves get a Riley home run. Swing and a miss. Max has good stuff early on tonight. He's ahead of Pham 0-2. Max is making his first career start in Cincinnati tonight. He has faced the Reds before. He's 1-2 with a high ERA. His lone win came 3 years ago against the Reds. The pitch. And Pham, a good take.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever kill anybody if they come here and they don't get a pitch for the 3 days in town, right?
Yeah. Well, what do you think a pitcher wants to miss more, this place or Denver?
This.
Really?
Yeah. Denver, you still can get the fly ball outs there. Here.
Yeah, watch him hit it high and hold your breath. That's out of play, headed for the
Just
second deck.
Look around in the outfield. Get an outfield view here in a minute where Marcell Ozuna is, where Duvall is, and see how deep they are, Chip. I mean, they're up against the wall almost. Michael Harris, for him, how fast he is, he's even deep.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Drury at first with 1 out. Max Fried, deep breath, delivers. And that one is poked into shallow right field for a base hit. Drury is not going to advance past second. So after the error, Tommy Pham with a soft single brings up Joey Votto with 2 aboard and 1 out.
Now this lineup, the 2 guys that have really been doing the damage, Tommy Pham and Joey Votto, right here in the middle of the lineup. Pretty good pitch by Max here. I mean, he got that fastball in like he wanted to, but credit Pham, he's strong and was able to just serve this thing in the right field.
Almost a quarter of the hits Max Fried has given up have been of the very soft variety.
Yeah, weak contact.
So that brings up Joey Votto, 1,000 lifetime hits at the Great American Ballpark. Hope the Braves keep that number close to 1,000 the rest of this weekend. He's got 2 aboard with 1 out. And Votto takes ball 1. Votto at 224, 6 homers, 25 runs batted in. He spent some time on the COVID list this year for the Reds, and after he's come back, he's swung the bat a lot more like the Joey Votto that's going to probably end up in Cooperstown. Right on top of the plate. As Max turns her loose. Ground ball might be 2. Arcia flips to Dansby. High throw, but a great turn by the Braves shortstop. And the Braves and Reds trade double plays in the first inning. Votto's double dip ends the inning as Austin Riley's 2-run homer is the difference after 1. We head to the second inning. Marcell Ozuna leads off. Braves in front in game 1. We head to the second inning here in Cincinnati. Marcell Ozuna will lead off. Duvall and Arcia to follow against Mike Minor, who surrendered his 11th home run to Austin Riley in the first. Ozuna, 226 hitter, 14 homers, 32 runs batted in. Minor winds and misses low. It's 2 balls and a strike for Ozuna. Braves have dominated left-handed starting pitching this year. 19-8 are they against southpaws. Trying to win number 20 tonight. And chop foul. Ron Washington with a good play in the Braves third base coaching box.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to throw it over that net. See how he looked up there?
He's thinking. He's thinking.
Remember he told us his right wing's kind of barking a little bit.
Yeah, he's been waving so many guys home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So a 2-2 pitch for Marcel. And that one is lined to short. Nice diving play by Farmer. Ozuna hits a sinking liner. He's retired. And that's out number 1 here in the second.
We can see kind of tough play for Farmer too. Half in the sun, half in the shade. That ball had some tail to it, or a hook.
Well, let's hope it's a happy homecoming for Adam Duvall. Hope you enjoyed Kelly's conversation with him as we came on air tonight. First time Adam has been back since the Braves acquired him. Adam's had a good road trip. An extra base hit in 4 straight games for the Braves. And as you know, he loves hitting here in Cincinnati. 39 home runs at the Great American Ballpark. Adams up to 10 homers, 31 runs batted in. The pitch.
You can see almost tonight so far to the righties, Minor's been leaving stuff out of the zone that he is missing way in with those cutters into those righties.
Two-0 count. And look, the name of the game when you play the Reds is get their starters out of the game, get into their bullpen. Those guys have had to work a lot of innings here in the first half of the season. Some of it due to injury, some of it due to ineffectiveness, some of it due to organizational plan. The pitch is lifted high in the air toward left center. Senzel battles the sunshine, but comes over and makes the grab. That's the second out. We were told by some in the Reds organization that the plan for Cincinnati coming off the COVID year last year was to help their pitching staff ease into things. Didn't want them throwing a lot of innings early in April and May to let them build up arm strength and the like. Well, the problem with that has been their starters haven't pitched well enough to follow that plan. And so their bullpen has been exposed and I don't want to say overused, but used a lot out of necessity.
What do you think to start the year? Minor didn't start out here. Pitch, was not healthy. Luis Castillo was not healthy.
That one on the ground, right to short. Farmer's had a busy night already, and Minor has a 3-up, 3-down. Top of the second. Max Fried goes back to work. He leads early, 2-zip. Without a loss for Atlanta. He's won 7 games himself in that stretch. And that's why, Jeff, he's our GNG Impact Player of tonight's game.
Yeah, the only guy with a better strikeout to walk ratio was who he faced last night in Aaron Nola. Fried's allowing only .57 home runs per 9 innings this year. Been tough to get the ball out of the park against him.
So you got to figure Max is going to be on his way to the All-Star game. Now, whether he starts the game or not is, I guess, an open question because so much depends on where his turn comes up in rotation in relation to when the game is played. When you think of the elite pitchers in the National League this year, Corbin Burns, Sandy Alcantara, Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers hasn't lost a game. Max Fried is right there in amongst them. And when you haven't lost a game since April, that's going to open the eyes of not just your manager, but everybody else in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Little pop hit toward first off the bat of Kyle Farmer. That's easy pickings for Matt Olson. Farmer's retired. And there's out number 1 in the Cincinnati second. This is Donovan Solano. He made his Reds debut on June 22nd. He too has been plagued with hamstring problems. Remember, the Reds made a lot of moves this offseason. One of them was trading Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker to the Seattle Mariners. They've been looking for somebody to play third base for them. Now it's Solano's turn. High average, not a lot of playing time, batting .320. Dan Fried misses inside, ball one. Good live fastball, but it missed upstairs. It's 2-0. It's been a rough year for the Reds. As we told you, they've won 26 games. They started 3-22. They've played a lot better since then. That one lined back to the mound, right at Max Fried. Glove in the right place at the right time.
That's why he's a Gold Glover.
He doesn't grab that. That might have been a hit up the middle. Instead, it's out number 2.
I think you're right. Where Dansby was playing him, that ball was for sure going to be up the middle for a knock. Good play by Max.
Nothing to it,
Yeah, right.
says Max Fried. Here's Albert Almora Jr., the former Cub. Almora had a nice month for the Reds. 17 RBIs in June. He's got 25 in total. And in for a strike. It's an even count. I thought this guy with the Cubs was going to be a star a couple of years ago. Albert Almora Jr. just didn't work out for him in Chicago, but now a chance with the Reds. We're looking for help any way they can find it.
Defensively, he's very, very good. I just think that the hitting has not come along as, like you said, to put him in that category. I'm not saying it can't.
Well, if you're going to see if a man can explode offensively, as we've said, playing 81 times here will certainly give a chance to help the numbers. Fried quickly ahead, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Love his pace. He leads 2-0, and on the ground foul at third. We'll try again. J.R. House is the Reds' third base coach. Delino DeShields is their first base coach. David Bell, their manager. As Fried readies again with a 2-2 pitch. And it's a full count. It is a hot, humid night, as you'd expect on the banks of the Ohio River tonight. 91 degrees officially as this one on the ground to Dansby. He'll surround it. He'll scoop and fire, and a good stretch will retire the side. Almora and the Reds are out in order in the second. Michael Harris is coming up. Braves enjoy an early lead. 45 tonight. One reason they've got 44 wins, Jeff, is their work, as we said, against left-handed pitching. That's our Zaxby's indescribably good play tonight.
Now, we've talked about the great work by Braves against left-handed starters. Got the best slug, OPS, and of course most home runs against left-handed starters in all of baseball. How about this stat in June? 291 with an 874 OPS versus left-handed pitching.
And one reason why is the work Michael Harris has done. He's hitting .333 against lefties. Really impressive for a first-year player, seeing all these major league left-handed pitchers for the first time.
After watching him the last month with his approach, to me, though, it's no wonder why.
Now, interestingly, the Reds are the first team that I've seen have their third baseman playing in on the grass against Michael. He hasn't shown a penchant for bunting yet. Now they back out of it as this ball's popped up a mile high behind first. Votto and India converge. It'll be Jonathan India, the second sacker. He's got it. And Mike Minor is retired 5 in a row. And one man down, back to the top we go, and Ronald's up.
Now, because we're coming to the top of the lineup, we talked about this last homestand, but remember the Braves 1 through 3, 114 RBIs, 4 through 6, 116, and 7 through 9, 116. That's as good of a stat as I've seen for balance in a lineup.
Nowhere to go for the opposing pitcher to even get one out when he thinks he needs one. Acuna was hit by a pitch on a 3-ball count in the first inning and was erased on a double play his first time up. And Jeff, I don't know about you, it just seems like yesterday when all the fanfare surrounding the imminent arrival of Ronald Acuna Jr. finally happened in this ballpark on April 25th, 2018. That's where his show in the big leagues began.
Yep.
As Minor delivers and pop back toward us. That one might be close. And just off to our left.
And it hit a girl in the back carrying a bunch of food for some people. Got to give her the ball.
You can't drop the hot dog thanks to a foul ball. That's not a good way to start the weekend. The pitch. Another pop fly off to our right. And we'll do it again, 2-2. And when we talk about the Great American Ballpark being the home of the Reds, we mean it. Every seat is crimson colored. And a nice crowd here tonight. The pitch. On the ground, and that splits the shift. Acuna's aboard for a second time. He's been hit by a pitch and now has a 1-out single. That snaps Minor's 5 up, 5 down string. Ronald went down and combed that baby between the second baseman and shortstop.
Yeah, Minor actually got that pitch in on Ronald a little bit, but was able to split it. Even if India makes that beautiful play, he's not throwing out Ronald.
So Dansby, the batter, he hit into a double play his first time up. And takes a breaking ball for a strike. And we're starting his second trip through the Braves lineup. Just happy that Mike's been able to come back and pitch. He's had myriad shoulder issues over the last several seasons in the major leagues. As Dansby breaks an 0 for 16 with a third inning single. So here come the Braves, first and second, 1 out, and Matt Olson the batter.
Man, this is what this offense can do, Chip. You know, it seems like already here it is, top of the third. They flipped the lineup back over, and these guys are back up again.
And Jeff, I don't think Minor has thrown the ball to the outer half of the plate to any of these right-hand hitters, has he?
He's trying. I just don't. I think right now the control, you know, they were telling me his changeup away has come back over the plate, and that cutter has not been able to get in on the righties.
So for Matt Olson, a left-hand hitter, he can look away here against Mike Minor. Olson leads the National League in extra base hits, leads the big leagues in doubles. He'd like to hit home run number 13 here and bust this baby wide open. Braves up 2 on a Riley homer. The pitch. Braves with 4 hits already in the game. 2 in the first, 2 here in the third with 1 out. The pitch. Up and in. 3 balls, no strikes. This is already a difficult place to pitch 81 times.
Yeah.
And the Reds have the worst ERA in the major leagues at over 5.5 runs a game. Braves trying to feast here early to pitch. He is taken for a strike. Olsen took one on the upper quadrant. Now it's 3-1. A lot of space between the second base bag and Solano, the Cincinnati third baseman. Minor checks and delivers. And that's fouled back. So instead of ball 4 and bases loaded, now you've got 2 on 1 out and a 3-2 count.
Well, the good news for Matt, they're playing him to pull even in the outfield, as you see. So he's got that left center gap. For him, think up the middle, and if he tries to come in, trust you're going to pull the hands through.
Or out the gap in Philadelphia, left center up at Citizens Bank Park. Minor ready with his 44th pitch. Here it is. Struck him out. And Matt's really upset. It was 3-0, and he swings and misses for the second out. And Austin Riley coming up. He came up with 2 outs in the first inning, Jeff, and did this.
Yeah, got a pitch out over the plate, and what a great job. Didn't try to pull that ball, went with it. See exit velocity. That's what I'm saying. He only hit it 100 miles, which we've seen him do a lot more. As you see our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud, 405. Just enough.
.45 RBIs for Austin Riley. We're not yet at the halfway point in the 22 season. And an even count. Game number 78 for the Braves tonight. Coming off a 21-win June. And the pitch. Lifted high in the air toward right. That's a long run. Almora still coming and can't get there. It's off the warning track and into the seats, foul.
Yeah, what a break. Almora, great speed out there, but this ball was. That's another thing. When you hit balls like that, when you're in the outfield here, you're going to tend to play deeper. And of course, India was kind of in that shift.
A promising inning in the hands of Austin Riley, but he's down to his last strike. There's the Mike Minor arsenal. Pitch number 49. So now the runners will be off with the full count pitch to Austin Riley. Travis d'Arnaud waits on deck. Can't sit on early runs in this ballpark.
No, you got to try to add on. Right here, though, you do. Like you said, you got the runners going.
There they go, and Riley swings and misses a changeup. And what a job by Mike Minor. 2 on, 1 out. He strikes out Olsen and Riley and keeps the game 2-0. Innings of work, and Austin Riley home run is the difference in the game so far. One thing that's been consistent for the Braves, Jeff, has been excellent starting pitching. It's actually improved as the season has rolled on. That's our landmark team player comparison.
Now, if you're going to win 21 games in a month, yes, you can score runs, but you also got to be doing it on the other side, and that's what has happened. The Braves starters have led all MLBs with just over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. The starters struck out 28% of the batters they faced in June, best in baseball.
Nick Senzel will lead off the third for the Reds, hitting .240. And Fried misses high to him, 1 ball, no strikes. And when you factor in how well the Braves bullpen has pitched, well, you can understand why runs have been real scarce for the Braves opponents over the last 4 weeks. No runs for the Reds in this game as Fried evens the count. Good looking player, Nick Senzel. They'll build around him. As new season's approach in Cincinnati. And that one combed into left field, and Ozuna playing deeply has no choice but to handle that on a hop. And Senzel, with 10 hits in his last 20 at bats, leads off the Cincinnati third.
He's got a nice little streak, good piece of hitting. Off speed pitch, even though he got out in front, was able to get enough to poke it to left field at Marcel.
So this is Michael Papierski. He is serving as the Reds catcher because Tyler Stevenson is out for Cincinnati. Stevenson broke his thumb a few weeks ago. He's getting closer to going out on a rehab assignment. That's another big problem for the Reds this year, something that no front office, no manager can help. They've had 32 different injured list stints in the first 3 months of the season.
That does not help when you're trying to win ball games.
So Michael Papierski out of Palos Heights, Illinois, facing Max Fried, and shoots that towards center. Michael Harris broke back, now recovers and puts that away for out number 1.
I'll tell you, something that's really impressive now is India comes back to the top of the lineup. Max Fried, through the first time through, has not struck out a single Reds batter. With that being said, pitch count's very low at 33. Got that double play to end the first with Votto. And has done a good job of keeping that pitch count low.
Yeah, all of his teammates appreciate that. They want to play too, right?
Yeah, why not?
Here's India. He grounded out to short his first time up. And that floats up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. I think that's an important stat to point out, though, Jeff, because as I said, 4 of Max's last 5 starts have been high pressure, high pitch count games by today's standards. Over 100 pitches in 4 of 5. As that's off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Fried's gotten 1 double play turned behind him. That came in the first inning off the bat of Joey Votto. He'll take another one here from India with a 2-0 pitch. Good live fastball. Short lead by Senzel at first. Another heater ran on by Jonathan. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Max Fried has won more games in the big leagues than any other left-handed pitcher since the start of the 2019 season. He's got 45 individual victories. Trying to win his 8th game this season against the Reds. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a base hit the other way. Good piece of hitting by India. So again, the Reds threaten. They've got 2 on, 1 out. And Brandon Drury's coming up. He hit a ground ball to third that turned into E5.
Pretty good piece of hitting after getting that fastball blowing by you. Right here, Max tries to throw it again, and honestly, not a horrible pitch off the plate at 94. That pitch is down, might get a ground ball, but sometimes you got to tip your cap too. Good hitter.
So Drury's coming up. He leads the Reds in runs, hits, total bases, homers, RBIs, slugging, and OPS. I'd say that's a team MVP. It's not the guy you want up with men on base. Reds have a couple of runners on for the second inning in this game. Nice find for Cincinnati, who signed Drury on March 31st to a minor league deal and an invite to big league camp. And here he is, one of their best hitters. Drury, the biggest home run hitter in the lineup for the Reds, with 16, which matches his career high. Right out of play. Max way ahead of him. 0-2 your count.
Well, we've seen Max on a few guys tonight get ahead, get 2 strikes like this. Now make a pitch to put him away, or at least a pitch to get a ground ball here, whether it's to Riley or Swanson. Maybe get a double play.
Max way ahead in the count here. 0-2 for Brandon Drury. Struck him out looking. Generous strike zone. Drury didn't think so, and that's a big second out. First strikeout for Max Fried. It came at a perfect time. That was presented beautifully by Travis d'Arnaud.
I was going to say, it was a lot closer than I thought when I originally saw it, but credit Travis. He did a great job of framing that.
Here's Tommy Pham. He singled his first time up and was erased in that first inning double play. Down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Pham's hit safely in 4 straight games, 6 hits in that stretch with 4 RBIs. Two on, 2 out. And just missed outside, ball 2. Pham's had an interesting season, to say the least. Was suspended 3 games for his fantasy football altercation with Jock Peterson. Also missed a couple of games with a left calf injury. Pham's a professional hitter, and he's ahead in the count. And took a strike.
We'll still look back in 10 years and laugh at the fantasy football altercation in left center here. At least I know I will.
As you were saying on our walk this morning, I mean, fantasy football is a
serious business.
2 balls and a strike. Reds with 3 hits, Braves with 2 runs. That's the story so far tonight. And the pitch. He is high. Don't want to bring Votto up with the bases loaded. He's lurking on deck, and now Max Fried needs to make a pitch. Pham digs in. Here it comes. So now the Reds runners will be moving. Senzel from second, India from first. 3-2, 2 outs.
Nice slider by Max. Now, to me, with that pitch, you've got Pham thinking a little bit. You got to be ready for that fastball at 94, 95. But as we've seen, Max not afraid to throw any of these pitches at any count.
So the payoff pitch is on the way to Tommy Pham. Runners go, and it's on the ground, a base hit. That's going to score Senzel. India on his way to third, and the Reds with a couple of 2-strike hits in the 3rd inning are on the board. It's a 2-1 game. They're hitting it where it's pitched.
They've done that 2 or 3 times now tonight. Shorten up and try to poke that ball through the 4-hole.
So now Joey Votto with a run in, 2 on, 2 outs. Votto on the cusp of a lifetime 300 career batting average. What a remarkable career he has had. All with the Cincinnati Reds. Rob Butcher, the fine PR man for the Reds, has it in the notes. Joey Votto's lifetime batting average, .299292.
Wow.
First and third for Votto with 2 outs. I don't know if it's an open question or not. Will Joey Votto finish his career with the Reds? He's got a full no trade, I believe. 10-5 player with the Reds, obviously.
Sure, it's going to come down to opportunities, teams.
And he's not the Lone Ranger in players that might draw interest at the deadline. From Cincinnati, no balls and a strike. Almost kneecapped him. 1-1 the count.
Look at him talking to Travis d'Arnaud. That ball had some run on it.
Freed's had a labor here in this 3rd inning. 3 singles. He's given up a run, but not the lead. One ball, 1 strike. Good stop. Votto, a 6-time All-Star. The only Red first baseman ever to win a Gold Glove. And in 2017, Votto off the field won the Lou Gehrig Award. He's really been terrific with the fans. He's taken to social media, become kind of a social media star. Did a TikTok video with a fan out west on the fly.
Midlife crisis.
On the ground, who wants it? Dansby's got it. He'll throw to first in time, and Votto and the Reds are done in the 3rd inning. Good communication with Dansby and Arcia. Brave shortstop stops the bleeding. It's 2-1 heading to the Atlanta 4th. Braves baseball is presented by Truist with Kelly Kroll down by the Braves dugout. Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey with you from the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. We've got a good ball game on our hands. Battle of left-handers. The Braves lead Cincinnati by a 2-1 score. Here in the 4th inning, d'Arnaud, Ozuna, and Duvall will face Mike Minor, who pitched out of a 3rd inning mess with 2 big strikeouts. The first 2 punch-outs he's recorded in Game 1 of the series. Travis lined out to second in his lone trip, so he's 0 for 1. That's how Mike's going to have to pitch. He does not have the big fastball too often anymore.
And you can do it. Look, we've seen Anibal Sanchez do it and have success. Johnny Cueto.
And that's a perfect example of what that off-speed stuff can do. That last pitch was 90 miles an hour, and look at how late Travis was.
That's what I'm saying, but you got to be able to hit your spots, keep it within a certain zone. And again, look, it is, no matter what you think, it is tough to pitch here if you're pitching like that, because there's balls that, you know, I'm sure it's frustrating for a pitcher. You see a pop up and you think it's an out. It's a home run here, and in another park, it's an easy out.
Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Miners gotten 3 outs on the ground in the game. A double play in the first, and Arcia's 6-3 put out in the second. And this one is going to whistle into left center field for a leadoff hit for d'Arnaud. So a good start for the Braves, who are piling up the singles in this game. 4 of them and a home run, the sum total of the Atlanta hits so far tonight. And Marcell Ozuna's coming up.
Look at that ball. You see that ball knuckle off his bat?
d'Arnaud had a sizzling June. Let's see if Ozuna can get his July off to a hot start. He hit the ball sharply to the shortstop, but Farmer caught that on a line, so Marcell is 0 for 1 tonight. Got to add on some runs. It's a 2-1 Braves game. And a strike. Braves and Reds matched up in the playoffs during the COVID year. You might recall the Braves swept Cincinnati in that playoff series and shut them out in both games.
2 great pitching duels, though, too.
Man. 1 ball, 1 strike. And foul back. That's Miners' Sunday best on a Friday night. 91 miles an hour. And Ozuna behind 1-2.
Think back just to that little time of the staff. You had Trevor Bauer, you had Sonny Gray, Castilla. I mean, like you said, that's been the thing. This team the last 2 years has kind of been guys that have left. Joey Votto's kind of the one guy still here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. d'Arnaud a very short lead. And the pitch is poked into right field, but that's right at Almora. Easy play for him. There's out number 1. Yeah, they traded Tucker Barnhart, you recall, among others. So it's a very different looking Cincinnati squad here in 2022. Adam Duvall, the batter. First, a quick word from Texas Pete.
Welcome to the tribe. The Texas Pete tried and true. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
Duvall flied out to center. He's 0 for 1. Kelly mentioned the back-to-back 30 home run seasons that Adam Duvall put together here with the Reds in 2016 and 2017. He hit 64 homers, drove in 202 runs in 307 games.
Wow.
For the Reds, made the All-Star team. Back in 16.
Like you said, this is kind of where he got his start. You know, he was with San Francisco, but just did not really be able to crack the lineup there.
Jammed himself and pops this to third, where Solano and Farmer converge. It'll be the shortstop Farmer. And Duvall is retired. Braves can't stand prosperity here, Jeff. They had 2 on, 1 out in the third, couldn't score, and they're out away from wasting a leadoff man here in the fourth.
I see someone come up with a big hit here at some point. You've had chances, and you know, in these type ball games, the longer you let that other team stay in the ball game, the more confident they become,
especially in this place.
Yep.
Arcia with a man aboard, 2 outs. He grounded out. So it's 0 for 1. And upstairs from Minor, 1 ball, no strikes. This is one of those lazy, hazy days of summer in Cincinnati. Hot and humid. On the Ohio River, the pitch. And downstairs, we enjoyed a walk this morning. Went across the Roebling Suspension Bridge over to Covington, Kentucky. Walked around Newport as well.
Gotta make sure you get your exercise.
The pitch is on the ground, foul. The Roebling Bridge, we showed you that shot earlier in the game with the blue painted steel cables, was the longest suspension bridge in the world when it opened in 1865. There it is. And I believe it was also the prototype for the Brooklyn Bridge.
I hope they've done some repair since, otherwise we might not be walking over it anymore.
2 balls and a strike. And off the netting foul. Yeah, we walked over a couple of different spans here in Cincinnati, not just the Ohio River. Two-one Braves, 2 balls, 2 strikes. For the Braves second baseman Orlando Arcia, the pitch. Orlando's played here a lot. Remember, he started with the Brewers. They were and are longtime National League Central rivals. They'd make 3 trips a season into Cincinnati. So you got the catcher at first for Atlanta. Darno will get a break. He'll get a head start, but remember, you got to make sure Minor throws the baseball. Left-handed starter staring straight at him. Votto holds the runner. Minor delivers. There he goes, and the pitch is popped up into left field. Tommy Pham has plenty of room. He's underneath, and Mike Minor is through 4 innings. Braves have gone bridge once tonight. Austin Riley's 2-run homer, the difference in Game 1 in Cincinnati.
By Kaiser Permanente.
It's 2-1 Braves as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Adam Duvall headed back out to right field, and he was all smiles as he was given handshakes and hugs. Got here to the clubhouse this afternoon, and as you heard Chip mention, first time back here at the Great American Ballpark since 2018, and he admitted to me that it was a little bit weird driving through the city, getting to the park. He even texted his wife to say, I'm passing all these places that we used to go to together. But also, Frenchie, I'm sure you'll understand both of these. One, the visitors clubhouse, didn't spend a lot of time there, so he's still trying to figure out which way to go in there, but also was really looking forward getting back out to the outfield, where he said, probably got to say hi to some of those fans that might remember me from back in the day. Do you remember going back, saying hi to a few maybe here and there?
Oh, absolutely. Oakland. That's my crew. Yeah. Oakland, yeah. It's my hot dog crew out there. I'll be seeing them in September. Your hot dog crew? Yeah, you remember I threw up a ball and brought them a bunch of hot dogs and beer back in the day with Kansas City. I bought my fans. Smart.
Strike 1 to Kyle Farmer. As this one on the ground, O'Reilly got the hop he wanted. And there's the first out. So how did you accomplish that? How does an outfielder accomplish that in the middle of a game?
Well, you go get a couple $100, you wrap it up on a ball, you write beers and dogs on me, and you throw it up in the stands.
Oh, I mean, I thought you could have called an usher and have the usher go get it for you and take it.
You got to throw it to him, so he knew it was for me.
Nice.
Have to see if Kelly can find out after the game if that slushy machine's still in the visiting clubhouse here.
Wait a minute, there's a slushy machine?
In the workout room. That's the best part. I'm guessing that's been changed.
I don't see the Braves training staff going for that.
Yeah, I think it's probably changed over the years. I just remember when I was young and came here, it was great to be in there, and we'd walk in there. Frank Foltz, Phil Falco, both our strength trainers at different times.
Back to the mound. Fried makes a leaping grab and makes quick work of Donovan Solano. I could just see you.
Well, that's what I'd walk in. They'd be like, "You coming in to get a workout?" No, just a slushy.
Yeah, I was going to say I could see you and Brian McCann just holding the spigot open with your mouth underneath the slushy
There
machine.
were plenty of people that went in there more than us. Why are you throwing Brian under the bus for that?
Well, he didn't get a permission slip to play football. That's why, as you mentioned yesterday in Philadelphia. Here's Almora, 2 quick outs. Fried's retired 3 straight. Almora grounded out in his first trip. Max getting the ball on the ground so far tonight. That's good to see. and delivers a quick strike.
Well, that's why Max is so tight. We've seen outings where he'll go out and strike 8-9 guys out in the first 5 innings. Tonight, getting contact, but you can also see the Reds, they're swinging early right now. They are not wanting to get 2 strikes off Max.
And that really is kind of a Faustian bargain, isn't it?
Yep.
You want to make sure you try to make contact, but if you don't make good contact, which he seldom gives up, you're usually an easy out.
Yep.
Two quick strikes on Albert Almora Jr. Bases empty and in the dirt. First of 3 in Cincinnati tonight. Late afternoon game tomorrow, early afternoon game Sunday. Then we're home for the Cardinals on Monday night and the 4th of July. Can't wait for that. And that's out of play, foul. We can hear the fans here in Cincinnati.
It's a good crowd tonight.
Doing all they can to stay cool. They are fanning themselves on a 91-degree night. Shorts and shirt sleeves abound at the Great American Ballpark. Max's 60th pitch is caught on and missed. That ball was boring in on the hitter's hands. A 9-pitch inning sends the Braves to the 5th inning, leading 2-1 with Michael Harris II set to go to work first. Fans, get your phones ready to scan the Coors Light Check In to Chill QR code coming up soon. Scan this QR code on your screen for a chance to check in to chill. Coors Light is pricing out the ultimate Braves experience by treating you and a guest to a Coors Light decorated hotel room located in the Battery, Atlanta, and tickets to a Braves game. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Get all you can drink Coors Light too in the room.
Jeff is scanning the QR code as we speak.
I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Let's get some more offense going here. Braves have a 2-1 lead. They've left 3 on base. Michael Harris popped out his first trip and takes low. 2 balls, no strikes. Braves PR staff is asking for our nominees for pitcher of the month, player of the month, reliever of the month, rookie of the month. It was a clean sweep for me for the Braves. I had Dansby Swanson as the player of the month. I had Kyle Wright, pitcher of the month. I had this kid, Michael Harris, as the rookie of the month, and A.J. Minter as the reliever of the month on my ballot.
Well, I ended up doing the same because I didn't know about it because I don't check my email until you just told me at dinner, but that's who I picked also. I can tell you this, Harris, to me, rookie of the month, is hands down a lock on that. Should be, I think.
Hit .347 in June. He is 0 for 1 in July against Mike Minor, who delivers a 2-2 pitch, and that one jammed him. Race to the bag. Minor got fed perfectly by Joey Votto, and that's how the Atlanta 5th starts. A ground ball out for out number 1. And by the way, we've gotten confirmation. Franco Garcia, the Braves Spanish language translator who does such a great job helping us with the post-game interviews, has some very sad news.
The slushy machine is gone. Put out the pasture. That's sad.
I frankly don't know how you're going to recover the rest of the way. As Ronald digs in, he's reached base twice. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's singled tonight. Eight, 9, and 1 coming up for the Reds in their half of the 5th inning. Braves have out-hit Cincinnati 5-4 in the game. The pitch. Ronald pops this up. Joey Votto says he has room. There's a lot of foul ground here. That helps the pitchers out. And Acuna's retired quickly. 2 men are out. We start the 4th of July holiday weekend here in Cincinnati. And you know what that means, Jeff?
It's the Friday night showdown.
That's right. It's the Braves and Reds from the Great American Ballpark, and it's presented by Kaiser Permanente. Here's Dansby. He snapped a modest offer with a clean 3rd inning single. The Braves had 2 on 1 out but couldn't add to the lead. Dansby's in scoring position right here. Let's see what he can do. He takes a strike. Lots of room down the first base line for Dansby if he can guide a ball that way. A lot of room in the left center field gap out toward the bullpen for Cincinnati as that's off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Mike Minor facing the Braves for the first time as a big leaguer. He's given up just 2 runs. They came on a 2-out homer in the first. And this one golfed into left center field for Dansby. Let's see if he thinks about 2. Big turnaround first. He's going to chug. Here comes the throw. It is going to be dropped by India at second, and Swanson with a hustle double. He was thinking 2 at the point of contact.
And I love it. At that point, why not? 2 outs. If there's no out, 1 out, maybe you don't think about that, but that is a hustle double. Watch this right out of the box. He knew where the right fielder was playing. Watch this. See where the right fielder or center fielder is on the right side. He knew it was going to take him getting to the ball. Look at that, right out of the box.
So 15 doubles for Dansby Swanson, and now Olson's coming up. Matt was not happy in the 3rd inning. He had a 3-0 count. A borderline pitch went Mike Minor's way. And then a couple of pitches later, Olson struck out for the 2nd out of the inning. Let's see if he can shoot one the other way. If he pokes one right over the head of Dansby where he leads at second base, the Braves will score a 3rd run. Because Solano and Farmer are widely separated on this Cincinnati infield defense. And if you think Matt is going to chase, you are sadly mistaken. He is one of the most patient and powerful hitters in the National League. 43 walks for Olson, good for 5th in the senior circuit.
Well, here we are again. The 3-0 count. That's where you got to be so careful. Matt Olson leads the Braves in RBIs off left-handed pitching.
20 of them. Number 21 would be nice right here. Wind blowing toward left. As Minor checks Dansby at second. The pitch. High towering fly ball. He had the green light near the stands. Coming back into fair ground, and the grab is made by Almora, and the Braves are out of luck again, this time in the 5th inning. 2-1 Atlanta. Bottom part of the order up for the Reds. Is presented by Truist. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning in Cincinnati. The Braves got a 2-run homer in the 1st inning. And Max Fried has made that stand up. He's allowed just 1 run. That came in the Reds' 3rd. And here in the 5th, he'll face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for David Bell's Cincinnati Redlegs. The pitch is in for a strike. Senzel singled and scored in that third inning, one of 3 Reds hits in the frame. And he chased that one in the dirt. And quickly it's 0-2. We'll keep you updated on the Mets score tonight. They're hosting the Texas Rangers at Citi Field.
An interleague battle.
And good news, the Rangers lead 1-0 as that game's in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Braves start play tonight 3.5 games behind New York. How about the Rangers? Boy, Chris Woodward's done a heck of a job with that club.
They got off to a bad start too. They're really making up time.
That's yanked foul at third. The Texas Rangers begin play 11.5 games behind the Astros. They're only 2 games under 500. And in the wild card race, the Texas Rangers are 3.5 games out of the 3rd wild card. So they are very much alive. The pitch is in the dirt, body blocked by d'Arnaud. It's a 2-2 count. I love the way Max Fried is pitching. Hitter-friendly park. He has bent but not broken. Very quick and efficient 4th inning. That saves his pitch count, as he has Senzel even 2-2. The pitch golfed down the left field line and into the club level and then out, where a fan from Mount Adams will make the play. That's where David Justice used to live, here in Cincinnati. Fried readies and delivers. And missed outside. Ball 3. Senzel putting up a fight. We told you 10 for his last 20. And hits now in 7 of his last 8 games. Don't want to walk him. The pitch.
Good fastball. 95 painted at the bottom part of the zone.
Michael Papierski is on deck. He's the Reds catcher. Senzel is the Cincinnati center fielder. And after a long battle, Fried takes care of Senzel. Back-to-back strikeouts, and that's the 3rd in the game for Max, and 1 away here in the 5th.
Well, look at this on a 69th pitch. Beauty right at the bottom of the zone. Gets a swing and miss.
So after some overtime work for Max Fried with Senzel, meeting on the mound with Travis d'Arnaud before the Reds catcher hits, let's enjoy a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Papierski, the 51st player used by the Reds this year. It's July 1st. Their team record in a single season, 57.
Wow.
Different players. I don't know if they have those name tags, you know, the "Hello, my name is" stickers in the entrance to the clubhouse. But that's a challenge for any major league manager, and for David Bell, 2022 certainly no different.
Give them credit, though. After that, losing 21-22, I mean, they fought back some.
They've played close to 500 since then, as this ball is lifted to left. And drifting back is Ozuna to the warning track. Papierski gave it a ride, but not deep enough. That's the second out of the inning. As we told you, after this series in Cincinnati, we head home for the Cardinals. A 4-game series against the rampaging Redbirds, presented by Emory Healthcare. Your last chance to see Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina perhaps, maybe Adam Wainwright too, in their final appearance at Truist Park before they may retire. We'll also have the 4th of July fireworks show, an all-star poster giveaway on the 5th, and Brian Snitker bobblehead giveaways on the 6th. Get your tickets now at Braves.com. Jonathan India takes inside, ball 1. And if you missed the news yesterday, it will be a somber 4th of July for those of us who love the Braves so much. We mourn the passing of Casey Motter, the great PA voice of the Braves, who passed away this weekend. Nice play by Riley. 360 spin, skips it off the turf. Olsen the grab and the tag. What a play. Wow. That's some all-star work. Unbelievable play by Riley to field it. And knowing a fast runner was coming, he skipped it off the grass. Olsen with the catch and the quick tag. And that ends inning number 5. How about that? Great on both corners. Max Fried's through 5 with the lead. 2-1 Atlanta. Almost behind his back.
Well, and what I love, Chip, he knew he had to get rid of it quick. And then Matt Olson, great job. Gets him right on the left leg.
So that's our Bounty quick stats. Austin Riley, his last 15 road games. That was a fine defensive play. Tonight, he's provided the sum total of the Braves offense too.
Yeah, he's hitting 348 in those last 15 road games with runners in scoring position. He's reached base safely in 13 of the 15 contests.
So he has been the picker-upper for the Atlanta batsmen, especially tonight. A 2-out, 2-run homer. As how many times do you see it? A guy makes a great defensive play, leads off the next half inning, and that's the case for Austin Riley. And foul back, it's 0-2. So Kelly, what about Austin Riley and his success against left-handed pitching?
Yeah, 15 of his 36 extra base hits this year off southpaws, including that home run we saw in the first inning. But he basically said, you know, righties, fastballs in, but I'm expecting the changeup when it comes to lefties, and I kind of push my approach out over the plate, so it just helps him stay on balls a little longer, guys, and see it a little longer, I think. And I thought that was interesting because up until this at-bat, 8 of the pitches he saw, 4 of them changeups, including the one he drove out, Frenchie.
Yeah, I mean, for just big right-handed hitters like this, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to throw those changeups, Kelly. Get them out front, get them to roll over. And for Austin, I love it. Recognize that. He's so strong, we saw it. He was able to go dead center. Trust that you'll recognize it.
And he just struck out on a pitch under the tomahawk. Mike Minor gets Riley on strikes for the second time in the game.
But I love that approach because he is so strong. A ball comes in, he's going to be able to pull those hands in. As you can see that pitch, he sees it the whole way. He just thought it was up and it was at the top of the zone, but was able to get the call on that one.
So how about Mike Minor? 88 pitches. He's given up just 2 runs. But alas, it's the home run ball that's cost him dearly in this game to this point. Travis d'Arnaud, the hitter, and he swings the first one, pops it up. Solano at third base, and in foul ground, squeezes that. 2 outs.
You talk about sometimes coming to these parks, Chip. We've all done it, and you're trying to lift the ball. You're trying to hit that home run, and we've seen a lot of pop-ups tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fly ball outs, and it's tough because you are, look, they're seeing the ball. It's not like they're striking out. They're getting good swings. They're just getting under it right now.
Well, Ozuna's hit the ball in the air twice. He's lined out to short and to right.
Now you go to different parks. I remember I used to go to Fenway Park, and it was so hard for me not to try to pull the ball. You see that monster right there, and you think, man, it's just right there. But you have to try the best you can to keep your same approach that's worked and trust it.
And you can see what Minor's trying to do to Marcel here. Doesn't want his arms extended in this cozy downtown ball yard. Ozuna 5 lifetime home runs here at the Great American Ballpark. And way high. Ball 3. Adam Duvall waits on deck. The Reds will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up in what's now a 1-run game. 2-1, Braves lead it. As the sun begins to set, the pitch. He had a green light, fouled it back. There is action in the Cincinnati bullpen. John Kunal is up. One would think this would be Minor's last trip to the mound in a 1-run game, but we'll see. He's pitched an effective affair tonight. Just 6 hits. Another pop-up on a 3-1 count. This time Solano in Fairground will have room. 3 up, 3 down in the Atlanta 6th inning. Mike Minor, very impressive work, but he's down a run.
Friday Night Showdown, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Two-on game. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Max Fried is pitching a beauty. He has struck out 3 Reds so far through 5 innings of 1-run ball. Now it's a big inning for him. He's got the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for Cincinnati. Brandon Drury gets it started and takes a quick strike. Drury reached on an error in the 1st inning, struck out looking in his last trip to the plate. That was in the 3rd.
Max got a lot of run on that fastball tonight. That 2-seamer darting away.
Now the 2-1 pitch. And that's back out of play, off to the right. Came from Covington, Kentucky, just across the river, made the play.
That's what Max is throwing tonight. That sinker fastball combo is about 50% of his arsenal tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty for Drury, the Reds' designated hitter tonight. Drury has a hit in 8 of the last 9 Reds games. Second, third, and DH are his main positions for Cincinnati, and he faces a 3-2 count. And Max struck him out of the inside corner. Look at that pitch.
You know what did it here? That was a changeup that Max kind of pulled a little bit. Watch this, Chip, trying to go away. And you see Drury shut down, and it's a perfect pitch. Ends up getting him right on the inside corner. He knew it. You saw him walking back the whole way.
So a good start for Fried. Tommy Pham has solved Max twice. He's 2 for 2. Not this time. Right to Arcia on the first pitch. 2 outs. And the ground ball outs have been piling up for Max Fried in this game.
Man, that's how you keep that pitch count where it's at. You know, he got the strikeout of Drury, and then 1 pitch, 1 out to Tommy Pham.
8 ground ball outs for Max Fried. Now Joey Votto, who is hit into a double play, and he's also grounded out to short. That was that gorgeous play by Dansby Swanson. That saved a potential game-tying hit for Votto. And this is how you want to face this guy with nobody aboard. And off the plate. Ball 1. Broken bat. Dansby's got that, bobbled it, and a throw to first still is going to get Votto. There's a lucky break. Ball dropped right at the feet of Dansby Swanson, and Votto is out by a quarter step, and Fried's through 6 with the lead. Mr. Hall, I guess he's on a great pace the rest of the way for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Mike Ford got him hot last night.
That was something else. So congratulations to the young Philly slugger. Hope he beats up on the Cardinals, whom we will see beginning Monday. We could use some insurance tonight. Joel Kuhnel is on in his 18th game. He got off to a great start, but it looks, Jeff, like the league has caught up to him over his last 8 outings.
Yeah, in June he went 0-1 with a 10.64. So see if this is a guy that the Braves can add to that lead for Max Fried.
Adam Duvall greets him first. You know, we talk all the time about pitcher injuries, and the Reds have certainly gone through those too. So much is talked about the forearm and the elbow, but it's the shoulder injuries that are really tough for guys to come back from. Mike Minor is an example, the man that started the game. Kuhnel, the same story for Cincinnati. He's torn the capsule in his right shoulder. As this ball's on the ground, Solano, nice play, and a long throw takes care of Duvall for out number 1.
And these third basemen tonight between Solano and Riley have gotten a lot of action.
So Kuhnel gets the first man out, and the reason we talk about shoulder issues, that's where velocity comes from.
Oh yeah.
So you have to rebuild and rework the muscles and capsules in that area. It's a long road back. So Kuhnel gets the first man. He's got Arcia up. Orlando is 0 for 2. 2-1 Braves. We're in the 7th inning. And that's in for a strike. Kuhnel's from Braves country. Was born in Goldsboro, North Carolina. The Reds got him in the 11th round of the 2016 draft, and he's looked impressive getting Duvall and Arcia here. 2 quick outs in the 7th inning.
Got him on a check swing.
Don't forget to stick around for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. You just heard Nick Green anchoring our coverage with Peter Moylan tonight. They'll be talking about the great start again for Max Fried, who's riding a 13-game unbeaten streak, and he leads game 1 of the series here tonight. Harris 0 for 2. Close the book on Mike Minor, by the way. Impressive rebound start for him after a disappointing game against the Giants. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Did not walk a batter. Struck out 3, 1 homer, 1 hit batsman. And that homer in the first inning is the difference in tonight's game. That's out of play off to our left. 2 balls and a strike. Kuhn was bringing it up there. That ball was at 97 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's got a big arm.
Center cut but fouled away. 97 the big equalizer. 2 balls 2 strikes. Lights are on. Sun is setting in Cincinnati. The pitch is low. A full count. 4:10 first pitch here tomorrow. Spencer Strider will pitch the middle game of the series for the Braves. Tyler Mahle for the Reds. Braves live at 3:30 Eastern time. Let's see what Michael does here with a full count. He takes ball 4 and the inning continues with Ronald coming up. Ronald Acuna Jr. debuted in this ballpark 4 years ago, and his #1 fan is here. Yes, indeed. The Hulk is here. That's our T-Mobile coverage cam here in Cincinnati.
Oh, look at that.
Triceps are looking good. Biceps need some work. One on, 2 outs for Ronald Acuna Jr. That's shot down the right field line. That is down for a hit. Michael around second, on his way to third. Almora fields it cleanly. Here comes Michael. He's going to stop at third base. Good job by Almora to hustle that ball into India. And if there had been any kind of bobble at all, Harris was going to come streaking toward the plate, but that's a smart stop. Second and third now.
I was going to say that there's difference between being aggressive, Chip, and sometimes running into an out. I know you want to push the envelope, but credit Almora. This fastball got in on Ronald, but stayed through it nice. But Almora got to this cleanly. It came right off the wall. Look at that. He was able to get it and get it in quick, and that Dansby's hot right now at the plate. The last thing you want to do is take the bat out of his hand.
So Dansby with a couple of hits in his last 2 trips. One a single, one a hustle double. Braves have had some chances to add to this lead. No better chance than right now, albeit with 2 outs, and their hottest hitter in this game coming up. 43 RBIs for Swanson, and again, you know how good Dansby has been in 2-out run scoring situations, not just this year, but in his entire big league career with the Braves. Dansby Swanson this year with runners in scoring position is hitting an astounding .375 and 32 RBIs. A hit gets you 1, maybe 2. The pitch is up and in. Got Olsen waiting on deck. Braves had 2 on, 2 out in the third. They've got 2 on, 2 out here in the 7th. Kuhnel got the first 2 outs, but a walk opens the door for the Braves. This is where the Reds this year have had plenty of trouble. Their relief corps, a .546 ERA. Swing high, fly ball left center field. That ball carrying out to .379. Track, wall, it is gone! A towering home run for Dansby Swanson. He does it again with 2 outs. And the Braves break this game open in the 7th inning.
I didn't know if that ball was too high, but that's exactly the humidity here. Dansby squares that up. A high shot for him. As you see, this was just a spinner right down the middle. Look at him keep his head down right on the ball. And with that big wall, you know, left field's a little bit bigger. You knew it was going to be off the wall, right off the top.
And the home run, the big blow, the big mistake, ball 4.
Yeah.
So Atlanta takes advantage. All of their runs tonight have come with 2 outs. That's how we begin June. That's how we begin July 2022. And this one sprayed to the left side by Matt Olson. So now you feel a whole lot better about this game. It's a 5-1 score.
It's interesting, you know, Dansby, as hot as he's been, didn't really do anything in Philadelphia, but his approach was great. He was hitting balls still hard to right field, flying out, and he's right back at it now in Cincinnati.
Where he's a triple away from the cycle, as that will end the inning. Olson caught looking. Walk, double, 3-run homer. The Braves have added on. It's a 5-1 game. Nick Green can't think of a better way to send it to you. And Peter with the stretch back in Atlanta. In this Homer happy ballpark, he leads by 4 runs heading to the Cincinnati 7th. Max has struck out 4 men. He's given up just 1 run. That came in the 3rd inning as Dansby Swanson with a single, double, and 3-run homer offensively tonight has pushed the Braves to a 5-1 advantage. So no drama, Max. You've got Farmer, Solano, and Almora coming up. Fried's pitch count at 83. And delivers a quick strike.
Max has a quick inning here. I think you'll see him come back out for that 8th inning possibly.
That one stayed a little high for Kyle Farmer, who's had a nice run. A Dansby Swanson-like offensive run. Over his last 33 games, Kyle's hit over 360. We've been so used, Jeff, to seeing the Braves hit these booming tape measure home runs all year long. Riley's just kept carrying over the center field fence at the 404 mark, and Dansby's hit off the top of the wall at 379 to extend the Braves lead. And Farmer, with his good work, has his first hit of the night. That's how the Cincinnati 7th begins. Not hard hit, but he put it in play.
Nice piece of hitting here. Stayed through it and just shot it to right field. I'll say this about the Reds hitters. They have done a good job tonight of going the other way. They don't have the firepower this Braves offense does, but you know they've been trying to. But Max, like anything, has been able to make the pitches when he's needed to keep this thing at the Reds at 1 run.
Luis Cessa's in the Reds bullpen. You saw Colin McHugh getting ready for the Braves. And you can understand, even though Max has not yet gotten to 90 pitches, it's the stress of the pitches he's had to make tonight that you have to factor in. That aside, he's looked terrific again, trying to win game number 8. No balls, 1 strike. That's hit toward Duvall and right. And he'll retreat to the edge of the warning track and put that away for out number 1. Almora's coming up. 1 on, 1 out. The Braves are proud to host Alumni Weekend at the end of July, July 29th through the 31st, when the Diamondbacks come to town. The events of the weekend include the Alumni Parade through the Battery on Friday, the Home Run Derby competition. Jeff's going to tell us about that.
Training.
The Braves Hall of Fame induction ceremony and alumni autographs on Saturday the 30th, and a live broadcast of Behind the Braves podcast on Sunday the 31st. All the details are online. Braves.com/alumni weekend.
They got to start training for that.
Yeah. What's that involve?
Hitting a softball over a small fence. Pretty much.
There's bragging rights on the line too. I think
me and BJ are 1-1 against each other.
1-1. That's right. You had it 1 year. You just choked at the end. I hate to say it that way. The 0-1 pitch was off the plate.
Well, they miscounted. Either way, whatever you want to call it.
So what's the?
I I got to get the format right again. We're each picking a couple guys. I'm not sure how we're doing that yet, but BJ will be a captain. I'll be a captain.
Okay. Are you guys going to hit, or are you just going to spectate?
Oh, no, we're hitting.
Okay, good. That'll be fun. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one is hit down the left field line softly, curling and into the seats. It's 1-2 for Almora. Yeah, Alumni Weekend is so great. It's a wonderful event. It's a wonderful weekend. Greg McMichael has done a wonderful job with the Braves alumni program. Pete Van Wieren, our late dearly remembered broadcaster, was also involved in getting the alumni program off the ground.
Yeah, it's really taken off. It's been a good thing.
It's great to see all the former Braves greats back in the ballpark, and all the fans, young and old, remembering their favorite Braves heroes from days gone by. And of course, the crowning event is the induction into the Braves Hall of Fame. Joe Adcock, Leo Mazzoni, and Joe Torre will all be inducted. No finer honor than that for the Braves franchise. Can't wait to catch up to Leo and Joe Torre. The pitch is on the ground. Riley, nice play. He's going to go to second for one. Arcia Cannon, and a little late. Great play by Riley to charge that ball, and a quick strike to second gets the force for out number 2.
Another ball down the line. Great play by Austin. Watch this. If you're watching at home, this is how you do it. You go through a ball like that. You don't let the hop take you. And it gives him a good strong throw. And I'll be honest, I can't believe they even got that close to turn 2 on that play.
There's a professional arrogance, and I mean this as the ultimate compliment, for an infield man with a strong arm like Arcia does. There's never a play he thinks he can't try to make with that big arm, and it is a shortstop's arm at second base. And so with 1 on, 2 out, Senzel's coming up. The Braves will meet quickly on the mound to discuss how to get the Reds center fielder out and get this game to the 8th inning with the Braves in front by 4. First pitch pops him up. Arcia drifts out. Harris is there just in case, and Orlando puts the squeeze on that. Max Fried, brilliant again. In a great hitter's ballpark, he shuts down the Reds, allowing 1 run through 7 innings, and the Braves lead 5-1.
Your local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It's turned out to be a beautiful night in Cincinnati, where the Braves lead 5-1. Max Fried talking things over with Rick Kranitz as he towels off on this steamy Cincinnati night. We'll see if Max goes back out for the 8th inning. Looks like from that reaction, his job is done for tonight. You can understand why. As Luis Cessa gets ready to work for Cincinnati. Again, so many of their relievers, Jeff, are piling up innings and appearances.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're 6-7 career games against the Braves. He's making him take something off. Something on his wrist, I'm guessing.
Cessa, the only player, manager, or coach in the history of the Reds franchise, which is the oldest professional franchise in our sport, to wear number 85. That's a little historical oddity for the Reds right-hander as he stares down Austin Riley in the 8th inning. And Cessa has missed badly twice. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, we mentioned Strider and Tyler Mahle tomorrow, 4:10 first pitch. Then Sunday, Charlie Morton and Luis Castillo will wrap up the road trip. It's a 1:40 start. Braves live at 12:30 on Sunday, so we'll be at the ballpark early. Jeff, don't forget the coffee.
For sure.
As we hope to keep the good times rolling here against the Reds. Braves up 5-1. Swanson and Riley with big home runs. The pitch. And 4 pitches puts Riley aboard. And for the Cincinnati Reds, this is again on rerun. This has happened time and time and time again. Let's see if the Braves can take advantage here on the road. Their good work away from Truist Park is our Stats with Lowe's feature.
They've been 11-4 the last 15 road games. Outscored opponents 92-60. And have out-homered them 30-16. That's gonna do some damage for you.
And 2 more homers in this game. It's funny, in the early weeks of the season, the Braves were happy, and we were happy to see the home run balls flying, but they were usually solo home runs. All of a sudden, as the Braves' offensive approach at the plate has improved, guys are getting on, and then they're popping 2, 3, and grand slam homers.
Difference. Think about it. 2-run homer tonight and a 3-run homer. And with Max Fried on the mound, usually ends up in a win.
We're taking nothing for granted in Cincinnati as Sessa can't throw a strike. And a visit from Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, with a man aboard, nobody out here in the Atlanta 8th.
And let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Take me out to the Giants. Take me out for a car. The Giants selection is something to see.
Long meeting. So Sessa has his instructions. And Travis d'Arnaud is ahead in the count 2-0. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
You know, it's so funny because you think to this 7 innings and Max pitching. I would go and say, you know, Max didn't have his great stuff tonight. I mean, not the electric stuff that we've seen from time. And that's how good he's become. The fact he goes 7 innings, just gives up 1 run.
I guess that's the burden of that mantle of ace, right?
Yeah.
When he pitches,
you feel like you got to win the ball game.
Well, and but I mean, the bigger point: 28,000 people in the ballpark are expecting him just to overpower and dominate every single time out.
Which is good. You want those expectations,
right?
But I think it's great too how he's able to do what he can do.
8 pitches from Sessa, 8 balls from Sessa, and the Braves get back-to-back walks to start the 8th inning.
Sessa and the umpire not seeing eye to eye. I don't know what it was at the beginning, Chip, but the umpire called timeout and asked him to take something off, and so he was mad, I think, to begin with. And now he's throwing 8 straight balls.
Marcell Ozuna is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball in the air 3 times. First 6 innings, the Braves hit 10 flyouts or pop-outs against Mike Minor. Not counting the 2 home runs. And we'll take those. We'll take a little more thunder here as that's off the plate. Sessa really fighting his control. 9 pitches, 0 strikes. And more action's begun in the Cincinnati bullpen. One ball, no strikes. And no, we're not in the Bronx, but it was one of those cheers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Hoffman's beginning to loosen for the Reds. Ozuna, Duvall, and Arcia coming up. The pitch. in the dirt. 2-1. There's nothing that makes a manager's stomach churn more than ineffective relief work, because all you can do is go by the matchups, go by the situation, and try to match up the way that you think is best for your curler coming in out of the bullpen. But when they don't throw strikes, there's not a thing a manager can do about that except
get a guy ready,
try an alternative.
Yeah.
The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. And let's not forget, David Bell is a guy that's skippered 2 really good Cincinnati clubs.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, one of them in the playoffs 2 years ago. But their team was gutted before opening day. The pitch. Another pop-up on a 3-1 count. Shallow right center. Who wants this? It'll be Senzel who makes the play, and that's the first out of the inning. So a frustrating night for Ozuna, who's 0 for 4. And Adam Duvall back in Cincinnati, looking to join the hit parade for the Braves. Adam tried to keep his hitting streak alive. It's at 4 games. And that might be a brisk here in the 8th inning. He's 5 for his last 19 at the plate.
Well, we talked about it, 8 home runs in June, and I do think it's got a correlation of him being back in left field now, getting his legs under him. You know, when you watch his stance and how he hits on those legs a lot. Some guys more than others.
No balls, 1 strike. Smoke toward left, and that's going to head to the corner. That'll score Riley. Streaking toward third is d'Arnaud, and Adam Duvall with another extra base hit extends his hitting streak, and the Braves extend the lead. It is 6-1.
And now 5 straight games with an extra base hit for Adam Duvall. See, this is a perfect example. Watch him stay on those legs, gets a backup slider. He turns on it beautifully.
So now the Reds will bring the infield in for Arcia with a run in. Runners at second and third. And wouldn't you know it, the fate for Sessa, can't throw a strike until he does, and then the Braves pounce it.
Yeah.
And pick up another run to make it a 6-1 game. That missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
As well as I do. Guy comes out and throws 8 in a row and walks first 2. You have to make him pay. And Duvall is able to do that, and even a fly ball here can get you another one.
Chopper over third. That turns into gold. 1 run scores. Duvall getting the green light. There'll be no throw to the plate. A little chopper by Arcia. Now everybody's having fun for the Braves. It's an 8-1 game.
Well, isn't that beautiful when it works out?
Man, oh man.
I mean, right off the dirt. Look at that. Actually, the chalk line. He never had a chance.
So let's see if Michael can join the hit parade. 8 runs, 10 hits for Atlanta. 3 in the 7th, 3 here in the 8th. A little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Braves and Reds have always had a great rivalry back in the days when they both played in the National League West. Of course, the Reds had the big red machine. As this one off the pitcher's body and out to second. Step on the bag 1 and the throw to first. And Harris with a tough luck double play is retired, and so are the Braves, who cash in back-to-back walks, a double and a chopper single for 3 eighth-inning runs.
Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Georgia Natural Gas, live the greener life, and by NASCAR. Get your tickets online for NASCAR in Atlanta July 10th at atlantamotorspeedway.com.
Well, bottom 8 we go. It is now 8-1 Braves over the Reds, and Colin McHugh taking over here for Max Fried this evening. The last time you saw him would have been against Philadelphia, where he threw 1 2/3 scoreless innings, had 4 punch-outs that night. And after the game, I asked Brian Snitker, and he said, you know, that's probably the best Colin McHugh has looked, the sharpest he's looked for us all season. And then he pointed back to those 3 innings, guys, that he threw against the Dodgers, and he goes, that's where I think we got Colin McHugh caught back up to where he was feeling healthy and loose once again. Because keep in mind, you know, he went to the IL with COVID, and so now that he's back, and those 3 innings, which was, I think, the longest work he'd done this season, and last time out, boy, was he good.
Was he ever? First Braves win.
Yeah, and you think about this, he had 4 strikeouts that day, but you know what he was doing, Chip? He worked both sides of the plate. He threw that front door cutter to righties and then expanded the plate away. He was kind of doing exactly what you saw there, backdoor curveball. You know, he's never been a guy that's going to overpower you. You know, you're going to see 91 max for him, but when he's able to work both sides of the plate, so tough.
Michael Papierski, the catcher and 9th place hitter, is 0 for 2 tonight. And we've talked about this before, Jeff, but for fans who haven't heard the conversation, that's another unique nature of this Braves bullpen. Different looks, different velocities, different styles, different approaches to pitching. And when you stack those guys up 2 or 3 at a time in a big league ball game as a hitter, that's got to be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's tough to see something, and then now all of a sudden something totally different than what you faced and prepared for all night.
He went, and McHugh strikes out the first batter he sees in the Cincinnati 8th, and we go to the top of the order, 1 out. What I love about Colin, like Jesse Chavez, he throws strikes and doesn't have to throw 97 miles an hour to be effective. Works all 4 quadrants, like you said. That one up and away, and got a check swing out of it. Jonathan India 1 for 3. Adam Duvall and Guillermo Heredia now in the outfield corners for the Braves, who lead 8-1. All in all, a great night for the Braves. Ronald Acuna back with 2 hits. Dansby Swanson 3 hits and a 3-run homer. Riley a 2-run homer and a couple of runs scored. This one hit toward Heredia in right to the warning track, and Wall with it back up against the fence makes the play. And that is out number 2. Ronald started today, Jeff, as the designated hitter. Kelly, are there any plans for Ronald going forward, playing offensively and defensively in the series?
I'm so glad we're showing that, because that's what I'm looking at right now in the dugout, and the way he's moving around like this. You know he wants to be back out there tomorrow. And according to Brian Snitker, as long as he came out of tonight feeling good, of course, how he responded to DHing, and they were hoping to get him back out there in the outfield tomorrow. So I don't know, guys, if that's any indication.
Yeah, I would think he's ready to go. I would imagine one of these 2 games, and early day game Sunday, you know, hopefully we'll see him out there tomorrow. But the good news is at least having his bat in the lineup.
And too, Jeff, we're approaching rapidly now the 1-year anniversary of his injury. That has been so big a benchmark for Ronald and the Braves as to how they manage his workload, manage his baseball shape, as it were.
Yeah.
The reason he didn't play defensively tonight was nothing to do with the knee. It was that he fouled a ball off his foot back home, and the foot was very sore. So all of those issues other than the foot seem to be a distant memory for Ronald.
Yep.
And as you've said so many times already in this series, any big league hitter worth his salt wants to swing the bat in this ballpark.
Yeah.
And Acuna will get another chance in the 9th inning. Brandon Drury, a 1-1 count, 2 outs, bases empty. And he was grazed on the way by. McHugh had one slip out of his hands, and Drury's aboard for the second time, once via error, this time on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, that one just got away. You see Colin mad at himself trying to throw that front door.
So Tommy Pham, 2 hits and an RBI. The lone run driven in by Cincinnati. The club on pace for 57 wins this year. I'd imagine that, as I said, Pham, Castillo certainly, maybe Tyler Mahle, tomorrow's starting pitcher, would generate a ton of interest at the deadline. So we'll see what direction the Reds take at the end of this month with their current roster. The pitch.
Well, we talked at dinner tonight. I had no idea. Totally, I did, but I totally forgot that the Reds finished over 500 last year.
Well, they're 26 and 49 this year. It's been a couple of years since they were this far below 500. In fact, it was the end of the 2018 season. So as it does happen, baseball is a cycle. You have some success, you hope to advance, and once you get into the playoff tournament and build off that. But if you don't, and you're a small market team as the Reds are, and competing with the Cubs, Cardinals, and Brewers in the Central, that's a tough order. For the Cincinnati fans, line drive into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Tommy Pham, 3 singles tonight. So the hit batsman extends the inning for Joey Votto, who bats with 2 on and 2 men out.
Pham's had a good night. And his 1 out was a ball he smoked at the second baseman.
Again, didn't hit it hard, don't have to. And Votto's had a quiet night. He's hit the ball into a double play in the first inning, and Dansby Swanson's robbed him of a couple of hits in his other 2 trips. The last one in the 6th inning. Ball hit off the end of Dansby's glove. Luckily for him, it dropped to his feet. And Votto, who hustled down the line, slowed just a bit as he neared the first base bag, and that cost him a chance to beat the play.
I agree. Something to keep an eye on since today's July 1st. Could this be the last month that Joey Votto's in a Reds uniform?
And Joey Votto still has a gigantic fan base here with the Reds. Reds, the, as I said, oldest professional baseball franchise. The Braves, the longest continuously operating National League franchise. The 1869 Reds disbanded after the 1870 season and then reformed. They've been playing great baseball here for a long time. As I mentioned, the Big Red Machine comes to mind immediately. And I would imagine, Jeff, that whether Joey Votto finishes his career as a Red or not, at some point, number 19 will be retired here in Cincinnati.
You would think so.
One ball, 2 strikes for Joey Votto. Don't think he liked that strike 2 call. As McHugh readies and brings it home. It's the outside corner. Thought he got his man, but That was off the plate. Deuces Wild now 2-2. Max Fried, brilliant. 7 innings tonight. He allowed just 5 hits, 1 run. It was so impressive, as you said, Jeff. 4 strikeouts. I say just 4. As he let the Reds put the ball in play. Generated 10 ground ball outs in Cincinnati. As Votto pops this one up towards center, and Harris hardly had to move. Good inning for Colin McHugh. He strands a pair, and game 1 in Cincinnati moves to the 9th with the Braves in command 8-1.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners.
It was a quiet offensive start for the Braves through 6 innings, but boy, they exploded with 3 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and they're on their way to the 9th inning, leading 8-1. And Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to work. The MLB Ballpark app completes your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Jeff Hoffman, the new reliever for the Reds, and Acuna gets hit for the 2nd time, right in the center of the back. The first one was a glancing blow on what would have been ball 4 in the 1st inning. This one hurt a lot more. As I saw the grip from Hoffman, it looked like it was a changeup.
Yeah, he throws a lot harder than that. Yeah, 86. And there's no history there. That's nothing other than a changeup getting away. But the next few guys can make him pay.
Yeah, so Acuna's been hit twice in this game. And he leads at first for Dansby, who needs the triple for the cycle, and he rips that one into the left center field gap. Pham dives, knocks it down. Acuna streaking to 3rd. Dansby to 2nd. The throw is late. What a night for Swanson. He is making up for lost time on the road trip. A 4-hit game for the Braves shortstop.
Gosh, and if Pham doesn't get that ball, Chip, that's a triple. And that would have been the cycle, but what a night. 4 for 5. Watch this right here by the slide. I mean, if that ball gets by him or even somewhat of a bobble.
It might have been a triple or more.
Yeah.
So the Braves in business, adding on here in the 9th inning. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Matt Olson, the batter. He singled and scored ahead of Riley's 1st inning home run. And so no relief for the Reds relief corps again tonight. Hoffman leads the Reds relief corps in innings pitched with 35 of them. And that crept across the outside corner. It's 0-2.
I tell you what, that's got to be somewhat of a scary feeling playing infield in sometimes with a guy like Matt Olson up.
Yeah. Heck, pick your man with this Braves offense.
Yeah.
I don't want to play in on any of these guys the way they're swinging it right now. Atlanta with 11 hits, 8 runs, and trying to add more here. The pitch. Scorched, and what a play by Votto. He looks Acuna back at 3rd base. Joey Votto, who at times in his career has had some trouble defensively at first base, has not made an error this year. That was some kind of play. That saved a run. 1 out. Tough luck for Matt. Here's Riley.
Yeah, good play. Anywhere but there. It's a base hit and 2 RBIs.
Third base is the hot corner, but first base is when a left-hand hitter is up, and that was a super play by Votto. Infield still in for Riley, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Didn't get that.
I'm surprised. I mean, look, if you're going to bring the infield in an 8-1 game like this, I'm surprised they're not walking Riley right here to try to set up a double play, even with Travis has been hitting the ball a lot slower runner.
Austin scored 2 more runs for the Braves tonight. And that one scorched into center field. That ball is down for a hit. 1 run scores. And Dansby will stop at third as he had to make sure it wasn't caught by Senzel. A 3 RBI night for Austin Riley. And the Braves continue to pummel the Reds. It's 9-1. Every Cincinnati pitcher has given up at least 1 run tonight.
Mel's trying to go up. You see the catcher. Well, see him put his head down right away, trying to go up by the letters. Threw right down the middle.
So Acuna has been hit by a pitch twice. He has 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Riley a 3 RBI game. Now d'Arnaud, who scored a run, digs in. First and third for him. And 1 ball, no strikes. Spencer Strider has the ball tomorrow. Maybe a good omen. Spencer's mustache looks an awful lot like Mr. Reds, doesn't it? Braves did make a roster move before the game today. We've got a new member of their bullpen getting loose with this one, an 8-run advantage. First, the 1-1 pitch for the Braves catcher. It's high. Silvino Bracco was acquired from the Red Sox in a cash deal. That took place yesterday. Bracco is on the roster tonight. Jesus Cruz was sent back to Gwinnett today. So there's Silvino. What intrigued the Braves was 36 strikeouts and 4 walks for the Red Sox AAA team. In Worcester, Mass. No longer Pawtucket. Now Worcester is where the AAA Red Sox play. Nine runs on 12 hits. Great way to start this weekend in Cincinnati. We promised you fireworks. The Braves have delivered to this point as that's strike 3, second out of the inning. And Marcell Ozuna will be your Braves batter. Get more team coverage, full game replays and highlights. Braves baseball is streaming on the Bally Sports app, and that's presented by Coors Light. Guillermo Heredia is on. Remember, the Braves made a defensive change in the the bottom half of the 8th inning. So Guillermo gets a chance to hit for Marcell.
Remember, it's the Pat Burrell. Marcell plays 7 innings and then he's substituted for it.
That's right. Yeah, Pat's job was to do his damage with the bat, not the glove.
You're 6 to 7 inning player, Pat.
What a great guy Pat Burrell is.
I know.
Hope he's doing well. Mets still lead Texas 4-3. That game's in the 8th inning in New York. Here it's 9-1 Braves over the Reds. The pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Our next opponent, the Cardinals. They're trailing in Philadelphia. Got the Cardinals for 4 games Monday night at Truist Park. Big milestone in that game. Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals hit for the cycle. One of 5 players to do that this year, and the first time a Cardinals player has done that in 17 years. No cycles for the Braves tonight, but a ton of offense. 9 runs and 12 hits.
Guillermo can get himself a fastball here in a 3-1 count and drive one somewhere. Join the party.
Heredia has 7 hits this year. 3 of them are homers. That's a great contact to damage ratio. Doesn't get a lot of playing time. With the DH, the pitch. High fly ball hit toward left. Pham will retreat and has just enough room. And that will retire the side. The Braves add on in the 9th inning. 9-1 is your score. One is your score. Let's enjoy a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
Well, as promised, there's the new man on for the Braves. Jeff's ready to tell us all about Silvino Bracho.
And as you said, he was in AAA with Boston. Made 1 start, 3.16 ERA combined out of the pen. He's from Venezuela, and Chip, he has struck out 36 and only walked 4 this year. So you like that.
And he's got a big league beard. So we'll find out about Silvino, as you do, as I'm sure the Braves coaching staff will as well. And Jesus Cruz, we thank him for, look, it wasn't the prettiest line score, but what he did was so important for the Braves yesterday. You forget about the runs and all that, the home runs. He gave the Braves 3 innings of relief when they desperately needed that.
And look, that happens time and time again. You know, if you get a starter going 5-6 innings, he's here tonight in Cincinnati probably, but you have to have a fresh arm and see what he's got.
Kyle Farmer will get things started. Farmer 1 for 3 for the Reds, who are down to their final 3 outs tonight. .93 at the bottom of the zone will work no matter where you pitch. Camden skied into right center. Harris on the run. What a catch. What a great running catch by Michael Harris. Didn't have to leave his feet. And he streaked about 35-40 yards to haul that in.
Gosh, that's beautiful. When you see it from up here, you can really see the ground he covered. Watch this overview. I mean, that ball's slicing away from him. Made it look easy.
What a difference maker Michael has been. We've talked about that a lot. So there's the first out. Bracho likes that. Here's Solano, who's 0 for 3.
A good fastball, painted away at 94.
One way you impress your new teammates is to do exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Throw strikes. And he's done that. And he's gotten an out with his first 2 Braves pitches. 0-1 for Solano, the Reds' third baseman. And that's popped up and out of play off to our right. And from Put-in-Bay, Ohio, made that grab. And from Lake Erie to watch the Braves and Reds play this weekend. And an awesome start to the Independence Day festivities for Atlanta. And Nick and Peter ready to recap that for you on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Post-game show will follow us in just a few moments, we hope. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The other challenge, too, let's not forget, I don't think Travis d'Arnaud or Contreras have seen this guy. So they've got to catch and learn him on the fly. Maybe they caught him in the bullpen before the game. but certainly not in live action. So they're learning as we are. As Silvino is ready, the 1-2 pitch. On the ground, Dansby's right there. And the Braves are an out away. Last hope for Cincinnati is Albert Almora, who is 0 for 3. Spencer Strider will take the ball for the Braves. He's coming off a great game. As Almora digs in. Look at that.
Wow.
Hesitation pitch.
I love that. Even the dugout's getting a little laugh down there. That was like a triple pump.
So what's Almora going to see with this offering? 1 ball, no strikes. And that clipped him on the way by. It ran up and in for Albert. He's aboard for the second time, this time with 2 outs.
It's funny, we've seen, what, 4 people hit now tonight. Ronald twice, 2 with the Reds, all on just off-speed pitches like that.
Yeah, Drury and Almora.
Just back-up sliders. Ronald with that changeup.
So now Senzel, the final hope for the Reds. Man aboard, 2 outs. Braves comfortably in front here in game 1. Trying to pick up some ground on the Mets, who still lead. Runner goes, pitch on the ground, right to Arcia. He's got it. And his peg to first is in time. And boy, the Braves started the weekend in great fashion. The bats boomed late, Jeff. 3 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th to pull away after Max Fried dazzled through 7 innings. He wins his 8th straight game, and it's 14 straight games without a loss for the Braves lefty.
And continue a good road trip. 3-1 now on this road trip. It took a while. Credit Mike Minor. He hung in there tonight. Threw a really good ball game. But this Braves offense eventually, Chip, you give them too many times, too many chances, they're going to make you pay. Riley Dansby with the big blast tonight. Dansby 4 for 5. Huge night offensively. And Max Fried, what can you say? Makes another beautiful start and another moment for a bid to start the All-Star game to me.
And hey, July starts the way June began, with the Braves in the win column. Perhaps another long win streak is in the offing as the Braves flex their muscles in game 1 against the Reds. 9-1 is your final. Max Fried now 8-2. Mike Minor, the loser, falls to 1-5. The Braves pick up their 45th win of the season and send Spencer Strider to the mound tomorrow on Valley Sports Southeast in game 2 of this 3-game series. Great night in Cincinnati. The weekend off to a rip-roaring start for Kelly and Jeff. I'm Chip. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is coming up next.